There was a bunch of fans that wanted me to ask you what you think of Jim Cornette these days, and I know you have a good relationship with AEW. Some of his opinions that he gives.
You know what, dude? Uh, you live in Canada?
Yeah,
Yeah, but here in the United States, a lot of people died for to have the freedom of speech. And don't get me wrong, I don't agree with Jimmy Cornette on a lot of things. Uh, but my opinion's like my ass. Everybody's got one. Jimmy can talk. You know, he has the right to say what he wants to say. Sometimes I don't agree with him. Uh, but I don't hate him. You understand? I get along with Cornette. I talked to him last week about something he called me. Uh, but you see, that's the part about stirring up shit in our business. You know, one time I did the greatest thing in the world. I was the first one to do it. I had a shoot interview on Kevin Nash. But it wasn't a part about me talking about Kevin. I hated him. I knew nobody had done this before. And and you see, it's always that little bit of doubt. That's what keeps the wrestling fans coming back. That little bit of doubt, and it worked. Beat Kevin. We worked a match off that, and man, we drew one of the biggest independent houses ever. You know, it's like a $76,000 gate that me and him did. So, but to go back to what I'm talking about, Jimmy Cornette. Another thing is Jimmy Cornette gets paid a lot of money for his podcast to speak his opinions like that. Uh, but it don't bother me. You know, and if it bothers anybody else, it's me. I just it goes through one ear, not the other ear. I really, I'm sorry, but that's the way I feel about that. I really don't give a shit what he
yeah.
says about anybody. I don't really, and if anybody takes it to heart and they're mad about it, smarten up. Shit, who gives a shit?
I'm gonna guess he's the favorite manager that you worked with over the years.
Oh no, buddy. I made a lot of money with it. We made, and I tell you this, us in the Midnight Express, dude. We made history in this wrestling business, in my opinion. In 1985 and 1986, 87, Robert and I think we were the greatest tag team in the world. If you don't believe me, just ask me. I'm just kidding. But what I'm trying to say is, man, we drew money. Robert and I didn't go into territories when it was already hot. We went into them and popped them. Not only did Louisiana, Memphis, but we'd go down. Eddie Graham, he ran Florida at the time. Robert and I would go in there. God, man, he'd sell out houses. Uh, Out to Kansas City, sell out houses. We wouldn't work the territory, but we'd go in there. We were just over. Uh, and to get back, hell, what was the question you asked me? I told you I'm like a
If
damn ball bouncing around.
Jim Cornette was your favorite
Oh
heel,
yeah, now to get back to, I made a lot of money with him, and we made history together. Then the Midnight Express versus the Rock and Roll Express, the Expresses versus the Expresses. But God, there's a lot of great managers. Sir Oliver Humperdinck, God, I love it. He was great. Paul Jones, Skandar Akbar. Uh, we made a lot of money with all these guys with different teams. I remember in the early days, Don Carson. You remember Don Carson? He was he was a great worker, and he became a manager later on in his years. But Jimmy, uh, with his mouth, he had more heat than any manager I ever seen. God, man, you to explain it to you, I can't. To explain to you the way things worked back then, you had to be a part of it. You had to understand it because everything we did meant something. Dennis Condrey and Bobby Eaton. Bobby Eaton, and Dennis was the leader of the pack. He had the more experience, and Bobby was. These guys were such great workers, and they knew how to get heat, and they knew how to keep it. As me working on the independent shows, yeah, but I'm 64 years old, and I still work all the time. And but to go on and try to explain to some of these guys, you have your independent show and they have a great match, and the heel will front the baby face, but then the heel will get right on the microphone and kill himself off. And I'm trying to tell them, I said, don't do that. And they look at me like I got a turd on my head. That's the whole point of being a heel. You got to cheat. You're the baby face outsmarts you. The heel, you got to cheat to get him down. And at the end of the match, the heel's got to screw you to win the match. But then when you stay out there and you get on a microphone, you kill yourself off. A lot of guys don't understand that kind of stuff. In our business is a knowledge of a knowing when to go, when to get out of there, and understanding our business. I was at a part of time in the business and with Jimmy Cornette, you're talking about him. Before I knew Jimmy before he got in the wrestling business. He started in Memphis. And the same thing, I remember when he was a pitcher guy. He took pictures around the ring, sliding back and forth on knee pads. It was the craziest thing in the world. And I remember Jerry Jarrett told him, he said, Jimmy, if you can get enough heat with the crowd, as you did the boys, he goes, we're going to make $1 million. And boy, did he ever. He knew how to talk. He knew how to pinch that nerve. And like me, I knew how to take care of him. When you're wrestling and you go back and watch our matches, unless it was a blow off I never even got close to Jimmy Cornette, because as me being the baby face, if I touch him, it takes the heat off of him. And
Right.
you see, guys don't understand shit like that. They always want, they get that pop. I got to get my shit in. Let me get my shit in. And none of it means nothing.
Thank you for watching the Hannibal TV. Please like this video if you enjoyed it and click the subscribe button to not miss any of our latest shoot interviews, match videos, or news updates. Support us on patreon.com for $1.99 a month to watch our full shoot interviews ad-free and help our channel grow. Follow us on Twitter at the Hannibal TV for instant updates.